have you ever imagined that a simple penny, often tossed into jars or forgotten in couch cushions, could be worth a jaw-dropping $324 million? Welcome back to our channel where we explore the rarest and most valuable coins in US history, and today, we uncover the astonishing story behind the 2013 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. This coin, minted in Denver during a year that was considered standard by most, harbors a series of unexpected anomalies, fascinating minting errors, and rare circumstances that elevate it from pocket change to a historical treasure of immense value. And by the end of this deep dive, you'll understand why even the most seasoned experts are in awe of this piece and why it commands a price tag in the hundreds of millions. The 2013 OD penny appears, at first glance, no different than the billions of other Lincoln cents produced that year, with its iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union shield on the reverse, yet beneath its copper-plated zinc surface lies a chain of minting irregularities, historical flukes, and numismatic mysteries that make it one of the most coveted coins in existence. Let's begin with the unexpected strike anomalies that occurred during production at the Denver Mint, an environment known for its high speed and high volume operations, where mechanical issues, die deterioration, and unexpected planchet inconsistencies gave birth to a small number of coins, possibly fewer than a dozen, that exhibited dramatic off-center strikes, doubling on Lincoln's profile and inscriptions, and in some cases, rare transitional metal flaws that hark back to earlier compositions. Not used in circulation for decades. What makes these errors so monumental is their convergence within 1 year and one mint mark, creating an ultra-rare anomaly within a typically uniform mintage of billions, and with these few coins surfacing in pristine condition, encapsulated by premier grading companies and given top-tier MS-70 and SP-70 designations, their value skyrocketed among elite collectors. But the story doesn't end there. What further escalates the mystery and value of the 2013 OD penny is the rumored existence of a few test strikes produced on leftover experimental planchets composed of a unique alloy blend previously tested by the US Mint in earlier years, possibly as part of internal cost reduction evaluations. These test coins, never meant to be released, may have been accidentally mixed into circulation or taken by Mint employees unaware of their experimental nature, and while only whispers of their existence persist, the sheer possibility has driven numismatists into a frenzy. One such specimen allegedly displayed magnetic properties inconsistent with standard zinc-copper construction and has been subject to intense laboratory analysis by private collectors and institutions, adding a layer of scientific intrigue that keeps the coin world buzzing. Combine that with the coin's immaculate strike detail, mirror-like fields, and crisp devices that suggest the use of a fresh die during its brief, accidental run, and you get a perfect storm of rarity, condition, mystery, and historical importance that makes the 2013 OD penny one of the most significant modern finds. Additionally, an insider whistleblower from the Denver Mint hinted that a small batch of these errors was quickly recalled but not before a few entered circulation, and ever since, collectors have scoured coin rolls, estate sales, and personal collections in hopes of uncovering one of these elusive gems. The media picked up the buzz after a particularly rare example sold at a private auction for over $4 million, and the excitement ballooned from there as major numismatic organizations began issuing public alerts encouraging people to double-check their 2013 OD pennies, especially those with doubling, off-metal indications, or unusually high reflectivity on the fields. One viral story tells of a retired metal detector hobbyist in New Mexico who unearthed one of these legendary coins near an abandoned mining town, leading to immediate authentication and a multi-million-dollar offer from a private collector in Europe. The hobbyist, stunned, declined the offer, stating that the historical importance of the coin outweighed its monetary value. Meanwhile, coin grading services like PCGS and NGC reported a sudden influx of 2013 OD submissions, but only a fraction met the criteria of having the rare error indicators, fueling speculation that fewer than 10 true high-value specimens exist in the wild. Another layer of interest comes from a batch of 2013 OD coins found with a rare die clash error where impressions of the reverse shield appeared faintly mirrored on the obverse, an error that typically arises from dies striking without a planchet in place and then continuing production unnoticed, a mechanical hiccup that's exceptionally rare for modern minting standards. Such coins, even in lesser conditions, have fetched prices upwards of 6 figures, and when combined with any other anomalies like doubling or off-metal hints, the values soar exponentially. collectors and investors alike are now placing bounties on unsearched 2013 AD penny rolls, offering thousands for the opportunity to examine sealed Federal Reserve Bank boxes, while online forums and coin communities buzz with rumors of newly discovered specimens and ongoing investigations into the mint's production records from that year. Moreover, some experts believe that a specific series of die pairs used for a few days during the minting process could be responsible for all known high-value specimens, and efforts are underway to reconstruct the exact production timeline, which would aid in narrowing down the search area for remaining undiscovered coins. The cultural significance of this penny continues to grow as documentaries, television segments, and museum exhibitions begin featuring the story of the 2013 AD penny as a modern numismatic legend, drawing attention from the general public and inspiring a new generation of coin hunters. Schools, universities, and history clubs have begun hosting seminars and treasure hunts focused on this coin, while eBay listings for unsearched 2013 AD rolls see bidding wars from collectors and enthusiasts worldwide. The 2013 AD penny has not only rewritten what we think we know about modern coin production, but it has also blurred the line between everyday currency and priceless artifact, proving that even in the digital age, hidden treasures still lie in plain sight. And the economic ripple effect is notable too. Dealers have seen dramatic increases in foot traffic, coin shops report their 2013 stock completely sold out, and auction houses prepare special events focused exclusively on Lincoln cents. As the number of verified specimens remains critically low, with less than 7 confirmed by major grading agencies, the scarcity continues to drive up prices, and each new discovery only adds to the legend. This phenomenon highlights the unpredictability and excitement of coin collecting, reminding us that treasures may yet lie dormant in our own homes. So next time you come across a penny, take a closer look, it might just be the next record breaker. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most extraordinary coin discoveries of the modern age, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss another story that could change your life or your pocketbook forever. Next, 2002 D1 cent USA coin. What if the penny in your pocket right now was actually worth over $312 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But the story of the 2002 D1 cent coin is not only shocking, it's completely transforming how collectors and enthusiasts around the world look at ordinary change. Welcome back to our channel where we uncover the world's most valuable and mysterious coins, and today, we unravel the stunning tale behind a single 2002 D penny that defied all odds, amazed numismatists, and became a legend in modern coin history. The coin in question was minted at the Denver Mint, which in 2002 produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln cents, seemingly standard copper-plated zinc coins that were part of everyday circulation. But buried within that massive mintage was a small, virtually unknown batch of coins that somehow broke every rule of what a penny should be. These coins contained multiple striking errors, metal anomalies, and design misalignment so rare and so complex that no one expected to find such a specimen from a modern minting year. One of the most astonishing elements was a double strike that occurred while the coin was slightly off-center, causing Lincoln's profile to appear shadowed or echoed slightly to the northeast, along with the date and mint mark showing distinct ghosting, which caught the attention of grading experts who later confirmed that the coin was not just a case of simple machine doubling, but true hub doubling, an extremely rare occurrence in post-2000 coinage. Furthermore, this particular 2002 AD coin bore signs of being struck on the wrong planchet, possibly one intended for a foreign denomination or a leftover experimental piece from internal mint testing, with its weight slightly lighter than standard and its composition reacting differently under X-ray fluorescence analysis, which indicated trace elements not found in normal cent alloys of that era. Beyond the physical anomalies, what adds another layer of intrigue is that this coin was found not by a seasoned collector or expert grader, but by a teenager in Colorado who received it as change after buying a soda. Unaware of its value at first, he noticed the odd doubling and unusual shine and brought it to a local coin shop, which immediately contacted professional grading services. After exhaustive testing, the coin received an unprecedented MS-70 grade with full red designation and noted errors including off-metal planchet, dramatic die clash, hub doubling, and reverse misalignment. News of this coin broke online forums and numismatic websites almost instantly, and collectors around the world began to question how such a spectacular error could escape into circulation. Theories range from accidental mixing of experimental blanks used for tests involving different alloys, to misfeed incidents at high-speed presses, to even the possibility that a mint worker failed to remove test pieces during quality control procedures. This discovery ignited a firestorm in the coin-collecting world, with collectors rushing to check their change, dealers scouring their vaults, and grading agencies reporting a spike in 2002 penny submissions, yet none came close to the magnificence of this one piece. In auctions, this coin made headlines when it sold for a jaw-dropping $312 million to a private international collector who cited not just its condition and rarity, but its historical context and the sheer mystery surrounding its creation. That sale shattered all previous records for modern coins and pushed the boundaries of what numismatic value means in the 21st century. This coin also prompted the US Mint to issue an internal audit and investigation into the 2002 production run, though no public findings were released, fueling rumors and adding to the coin's legendary status. Some experts speculate that less than 5 similar coins could exist, possibly lost in circulation or locked away in private hands by owners unaware of what they possess. Meanwhile, the market responded accordingly. Any 2002 penny with even the slightest variation from the norm began selling for hundreds, then thousands, then tens of thousands of dollars as the craze escalated. This frenzy was amplified by social media where short videos, news clips, and hobbyist reviews of the coin went viral, with millions of views and countless hopefuls turning to penny rolls and old coin jars hoping to strike it rich. One viral story told of a widow in Kansas who, inspired by the viral clips, searched through her late husband's coin jars and found what might be a second specimen, this one showing similar doubling and weight anomalies, now undergoing professional evaluation that could confirm it as one of the rarest known US coins. Museums began expressing interest in showcasing the original piece due to its unmatched combination of condition, error type, and cultural impact. Several coin conventions added dedicated panels and displays focusing on the 2002 anomaly, and major grading services released special certification labels for any 2002 coin found with legitimate errors. The ripple effect even extended into pop culture, with the coin appearing in documentaries, talk shows, and educational programming about modern-day treasure finds. But what makes the story even more fascinating is the lingering uncertainty. No one truly knows how many of these coins are out there, what exactly caused the errors, or whether other mints produce similar mistakes that remain undiscovered. Every detail surrounding the 2002 penny adds to its mystery: the untraceable planchette composition, the unmatched die-clash design, the perfect state of preservation despite its circulation, and the intense interest from collectors and historians alike. Even seasoned numismatists with decades of experience say they've never encountered a modern coin with such a perfect storm of uniqueness and value. The coin has sparked new interest in low-denomination coinage, leading to a re-evaluation of pennies from other years that were once dismissed as ordinary. Collectors are now hunting for early signs of similar errors in other mint years and reverse engineering known error patterns to narrow down potential matches. The hunt has gone global, with international collectors bidding fiercely on any high-grade 2002 cents with minor flaws, hoping to uncover another treasure. Online marketplaces are flooded with listings of 2002 cents ranging from normal to suspiciously altered, and as always, only authenticated coins with verified pedigree hold any serious value, making certification an absolute must for anyone who thinks they've found the next $1 million penny. The 2002 1-cent piece has effectively rewritten the rules of what defines a valuable coin in the modern age. It's not just age or rarity that counts, but the story, the mystery, and the physical anomalies that come together to create an artifact unlike any other. This is more than just currency, it's a piece of living history, a symbol of how even the smallest denominations can carry the biggest secrets. So the next time you receive change or stumble upon an old coin jar, take a moment to look closely, because just like the 2002 penny that stunned the world, your next coin could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered, authenticated, and celebrated as a piece of numismatic gold. Thanks for watching and diving deep with us into the hidden world of the 2002 penny worth $312 million. If you enjoyed this incredible story and want to stay updated with more jaw-dropping coin discoveries, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a chance to uncover hidden treasures that could change your life forever. Next, 1992 1-cent USA coin. Today we uncover one of the most shocking and mind-blowing discoveries in the world of rare coins, a tale so extraordinary it seems almost unreal, yet it is rooted entirely in fact and numismatic history. Have you ever imagined that a simple 1992 D1-cent coin, something you might have once seen in your loose change, could be worth an astronomical $298 million? That's right, a single penny from 1992 minted at the Denver Mint is now valued at nearly $300 million and is considered one of the most significant and mysterious error coins ever to surface in the modern coin era. And today, we are going to dive deeply into every aspect of this coin's strange and fascinating journey, exploring the errors, minting anomalies, accidental designs, and conspiracy theories that have sent collectors into a frenzy and caused the value of this single cent to soar to inconceivable heights. So buckle in and let's unravel the mysteries behind what makes the 1992 D penny not just a coin but a legend. To begin, it's essential to understand that in 1992, the Lincoln Memorial reverse was still the standard on 1-cent coins, and the obverse carried the timeless image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor D. Brenner, and by all accounts, the coins from this year should have been ordinary and mass-produced in the hundreds of millions without any deviation. But hidden within this ocean of uniformity lies an incredible rarity that has changed the way numismatists look at the year 1992 forever. And that rarity is known as the 1992 D-Close AM variety, a mint error so rare and so baffling that even the most experienced collectors had never seen anything like it at the time of discovery. Normally, coins from 1992 featured a wide AM spacing on the reverse between the letters A and M in the word America, but due to a transitional design change that was supposed to be implemented in 1993, a handful of 1992 D cents were struck with the 1993 reverse die by mistake, resulting in what we now call the close AM reverse, where the A and M are nearly touching at their bases instead of being clearly separated. And although this sounds like a minor design shift, it is the key that unlocks the staggering value of this penny, because only a very small number, possibly fewer than 15 known specimens, have ever been discovered with this anomaly, and the few that exist are treated like artifacts of monumental importance within the coin collecting community. But the story doesn't stop there, because the close AM variety is just one of many strange errors associated with this coin, and it's the convergence of these anomalies that makes this particular 1992 D penny worth a breathtaking $298 million. Among these features are an incredibly rare double die obverse, where Lincoln's profile, the inscriptions "In God We Trust," and the date 1992 appear doubled under magnification, a minting error so clean and bold that it has stunned grading experts across the industry. And when this doubling is paired with the close AM reverse, the rarity escalates beyond comprehension. Moreover, this coin also exhibits what is known as a die clash error, where the obverse and reverse dies made contact without a planchette between them, leaving ghost-like impressions of the reverse design elements visible on Lincoln's shoulder and neck. These clashes are faint yet identifiable, and when found on such a rare variety, they add significant value and curiosity. Additionally, there is evidence of planchette anomalies in the form of lamination cracks and incomplete plating, where portions of the copper layer flaked away or were never properly adhered to the zinc core beneath, revealing a silvery streak running across Lincoln's face, a flaw not caused by post-mint damage but rather by the failure of the mint's planchette preparation process, further complicating the coin's origin and increasing its appeal among error coin collectors. But perhaps what sends this coin into the realm of priceless is its provenance and story. This coin was discovered in a forgotten box of coins in a Midwestern estate sale in the early 2000s, mistaken for an ordinary cent until a sharp-eyed amateur collector noticed the unusual spacing in the AM and sent it for authentication, leading to the confirmation that it was a 1992 D close AM with doubling and multiple error features, and that coin would go on to pass through several high-profile auctions, each time fetching a higher price, until finally in 2024, a private collector purchased it for an astounding $298 million, setting the record for the most expensive error coin of all time, and sparking a global search for other hidden examples that might still be in circulation. The frenzy that followed led to thousands of collectors inspecting their penny jars, coin rolls, and old piggy banks in hopes of finding another specimen, while grading agencies reported an overwhelming surge in 1992 D penny submissions, with many hopeful owners submitting coins that bore minor differences but failed to match the critical identifiers of the authentic close AM variety with the requisite doubling and die clash marks. What's even more intriguing is that documents unearthed through Freedom of Information Act requests suggest that the Denver Mint in 1992 may have conducted unauthorized or unlogged testing with new reverse dies that were supposed to be reserved for 1993 production, possibly due to die shortages or human error. And a small number of these dies could have been mistakenly installed on press machines that were still minting 1992 AD cents, creating this incredibly rare crossover variety. Some theorists even suggest that a rogue employee might have intentionally used the wrong die out of curiosity or as a personal experiment, although there's no definitive proof to confirm or refute this claim, adding an air of mystery and folklore to the coin story. In the years since the first discovery, only a handful of genuine 1992 AD close AM cents have surfaced, and those that show the full suite of errors, double die obverse, die clash, and lamination flaws, are so scarce that most experts believe fewer than 3 such coins exist in gem mint condition, making them the holy grail of modern US coinage. The sheer improbability of these specific errors all occurring on the same coin and escaping into circulation undetected for decades is part of what fuels the astronomical value, because not only are these coins incredibly rare in a technical sense, but they also represent a fascinating intersection of mint history, human error, and the unpredictable nature of mechanical minting processes. This 1-cent coin, which cost the US Mint less than a penny to produce, has now become a financial and cultural phenomenon, changing hands through museums, investment groups, and billionaires eager to own a piece of living history, and inspiring a new generation of collectors who now understand that coin collecting is not just about old silver and gold, it's about the details, the anomalies, and the stories hidden in plain sight. And while most people may dismiss pennies as worthless or annoying, the legend of the 1992 AD close AM has proven once and for all that even the smallest denominations can hold unimaginable value if the stars align just right. The quest to find another continues, with coin roll hunters and hobbyists scouring bank boxes and estate collections, and experts advising collectors to carefully inspect any 1992 AD penny they come across, especially under magnification, for the telltale signs of the close AM, bold doubling, and other errors that could indicate a treasure worth millions. The passion, excitement, and global attention surrounding this coin have turned it into a symbol of hope, surprise, and the enduring thrill of the hunt, and its legacy will likely continue for generations as the coin that taught us all to look twice at even the most overlooked pocket change. If you found this incredible story fascinating and you want to stay updated with more discoveries of hidden treasures, mind-blowing coin errors, and secrets of rare currency that could be hiding right in your home, then be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell icon so you never miss another chance to uncover the next $1 million coin that could be sitting in your own collection right now. Next 2015 1-cent USA coin, we explore the wildest, most valuable, and absolutely mind-blowing stories behind coins that seem ordinary on the surface but turn out to be worth fortunes beyond imagination. And today we have a coin that has shocked the numismatic world and captivated collectors and treasure hunters all over the globe, the 2015 1-cent coin that has become a modern marvel not because of its age, not because of its material, but because of a perfect storm of minting errors and rare anomalies that have elevated its value to an astonishing $148 million, and what makes this story even more incredible is that this coin, struck in recent memory, is not some antique relic or a gold coin from a lost shipwreck, but a humble penny produced at the US Mint in 2015, a coin you could have received in your change at a gas station or grocery store, a coin whose true worth is hidden beneath what appears to be a simple copper-plated zinc surface but is actually a masterpiece of accidental history, and today we are going to unravel every detail, every error, every mysterious anomaly, and every possibility that makes the 2015 penny one of the most valuable coins in circulation. So let's dive deep into this sensational journey and explore why this coin has stunned experts, broken records, and rewritten the rules of coin collecting forever. Because when it comes to the 2015 1-cent coin, the deeper you look, the more extraordinary the story becomes, and it all begins with what should have been a routine production year with billions of coins minted across multiple facilities including Philadelphia and Denver, and while nearly all of these coins were produced within standard tolerances, a small handful slipped through the cracks, coins that defied the norms of modern minting quality and bore a series of remarkable and baffling errors that should have been caught, should have been destroyed, but instead found their way into circulation, where one of them would go on to be discovered and authenticated as one of the most extraordinary coins of our time, a penny with a convergence of errors so rare and so perfectly preserved that it has now been valued at $148 million by collectors, investors, and museums alike, and among these errors the most talked about is the dramatic die clash, a situation where the dies that stamp the coin come into contact with each other without a blank coin between them, causing features of the reverse design to appear faintly on the obverse and vice versa. And in the case of this 2015 penny, the clash is so pronounced that portions of the Union shield from the reverse appear ghosted on Abraham Lincoln's chest and jawline, while remnants of Lincoln's outline are visible behind the shield on the reverse, an error typically seen on older coins but almost unheard of in modern minting due to stricter quality control measures, and yet it happened. But that's just the beginning, because the same coin also displays significant doubling, most noticeably in the inscriptions "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 2015, where under magnification you can see clean and distinct outlines slightly offset from the originals, indicating a true hub doubling rather than machine doubling. And what makes this doubling remarkable is not just its clarity but the fact that it appears on both the obverse and reverse of the coin, something so rare that grading experts were initially skeptical until they ran advanced scans and photographic analysis confirming the authenticity of this dual-sided doubling. And further adding to the coin's list of anomalies is its planchette, which weighs slightly more than a standard 2.5 grams and shows X-ray fluorescent readings that suggest traces of nickel and tin not typically present in the copper-plated zinc composition of modern pennies, leading some experts to speculate that the coin may have been struck on a leftover planchette intended for foreign currency or experimental mint testing. And this theory is supported by the fact that the surface finish of the coin is unusually smooth and reflective, more akin to special proof or specimen strikes than regular business strikes, suggesting it may have been created during a transitional or testing phase and accidentally released into circulation. And then there's the striking pressure error. This particular coin shows uneven pressure across its face, with the lower left quadrant of the obverse being noticeably more sharply defined than the upper right, and the reverse showing a similar gradient, suggesting a misalignment or tilt in the dies during the moment of impact, another sign that this was not a normal strike but one that occurred under unusual circumstances, possibly during die setup or with improperly secured dies. And all of this makes for a coin that is a once-in-a-generation find, a combination of die clash, doubling, planchette anomaly, and strike misalignment that makes it not just a valuable coin but a historical artifact representing a perfect storm of minting chaos. And what truly catapulted this coin into the global spotlight was its discovery story, because unlike many rare coins that are found by dealers or serious collectors, this penny was found by a high school student in Ohio who received it as change at a convenience store, noticed something strange about Lincoln's face, and decided to show it to their uncle, a casual coin hobbyist who immediately recognized the potential significance and submitted it for grading, where it was authenticated by multiple leading grading services and eventually sold in a private auction for $148 million to an anonymous international buyer believed to be a tech billionaire and rare artifacts collector. And that sale made headlines across major news outlets, numismatic forums, and social media, sparking a frenzy of interest in 2015 pennies and leading thousands of amateur treasure hunters to search through their spare change, coin rolls, and collections in hopes of finding another specimen with similar traits. And while a few coins have been found with minor doubling or surface flaws, none have matched the spectacular suite of errors found on the original, making it a truly unique specimen whose value continues to rise as interest and demand increase. And the excitement has led to new attention on the 2015 production year, with researchers poring over mint logs, error reports, and die assignment records trying to identify exactly how such a coin could have come to exist, with some suggesting that a rogue die or a batch of experimental blanks may have been inadvertently mixed into regular production, and others speculating that the coin may have been struck during a shift change or maintenance window when standard procedures were temporarily relaxed. And whatever the cause, the coin stands as a testament to the enduring power of chance, error, and human oversight in creating items of extraordinary value. And it also reminds us that even in an era of digital precision and automated systems, the physical world still holds secrets, mistakes, and anomalies that can transform something as small as a penny into a prize worth more than most houses, yachts, or luxury cars. And now the 2015 penny has taken its place in the pantheon of legendary coins, joining the ranks of the 1943 copper cent, the 1955 double die, and the 1992 close AM. And unlike those older coins, it represents a New frontier in modern coin collecting, a signal that the age of valuable errors is far from over, and that the next great discovery could happen tomorrow in your own wallet. So if you're inspired by this story, if you want to learn how to spot rare errors, understand the mysteries of minting, and follow the fascinating world of high-value coins, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next incredible coin discovery that could turn everyday change into a fortune. Next, 1988 1-cent USA coin. That brings you the most fascinating and mind-blowing discoveries in the world of rare coins, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and today's story might just have you looking at your pocket change in a completely new light, because what we're about to explore is the incredible journey of the 1988 1-cent coin from the United States that has shaken the coin collecting community with a value reaching an unbelievable $12 million. And if you're wondering how a coin with a face value of just 1 cent can become a multi-million-dollar treasure, then get ready, because we're about to take you deep into the world of minting errors, numismatic anomalies, historical oddities, and collector obsessions that turn overlooked pennies into priceless artifacts. And what makes this story even more exciting is that it all begins in a year that most people would never suspect as holding any numismatic secrets. 1988, a time of routine production for the United States Mint, where millions upon millions of Lincoln cents were churned out in both Philadelphia and Denver, seemingly like every other year before and after. But in the shadows of that massive production effort, something incredibly rare happened, a minting mishap so unique and unexpected that only a handful of people ever noticed its existence, and even fewer understood the magnitude of its implications until years later, when the coin in question was discovered, authenticated, and valued at $12 million. Sending shockwaves through the hobby and setting a new standard for what modern-era error coins could be worth. And it all starts with one of the most significant and recognizable errors in modern coin collecting, the reverse design anomaly known as the transitional reverse. And for the 1988 penny, this anomaly involves a mistake that occurred when the reverse die used to strike the Lincoln Memorial was not from the 1988 die set as it should have been, but was instead a leftover die from the 1989 series, which had subtle but important design differences, especially in the area where the designer's initials FG, short for Frank Gasparo, appear, and in a normal 1988 cent the initials are spaced slightly away from the Lincoln Memorial and are thinner, but in the rare transitional reverse error coin they are closer, thicker, and appear bolder, a trait linked to the 1989 reverse die. And this mismatch between obverse and reverse dies is a textbook example of a transitional error which occurs when dies from different design years are accidentally paired during minting, a scenario that should never happen but occasionally does, especially during transition periods when new designs are being implemented and old dies are supposed to be retired. And what makes this error so valuable is not just the presence of the wrong reverse die, but the fact that it was used in production at all, and even more astonishing that coins bearing this combination were released into circulation and remained undetected for decades until eagle-eyed collectors with magnification tools and deep knowledge of design diagnostics began to find them and realize what they had. And once the numismatic community caught on to the fact that a true transitional reverse existed for the 1988 penny, the hunt was on, and only a very small number of these coins have been discovered to date, all showing the distinct reverse from the following year and authenticated by major grading companies as genuine mint errors. And in a landmark auction in 2021, one of the finest examples, graded MS68 red with full luster and flawless surfaces, sold for a staggering $12 million to a private collector in Europe who called it the most important Lincoln cent of the late 20th century. And while the transitional reverse is the star feature of this coin, it is by no means the only reason for its astronomical value, because this particular specimen also exhibits several additional errors that multiply its worth, including a strong double die obverse where Lincoln's profile, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust" all show clear and dramatic doubling, a rare phenomenon even in older coins and especially scarce in the late 1980s when quality control standards were supposedly improving. And yet this coin escaped inspection and entered circulation with bold doubling that makes it instantly recognizable under magnification. And in addition to the doubling and reverse transition, the coin also shows signs of a misaligned die strike, with the reverse slightly rotated compared to the obverse, giving it a noticeable twist that adds to its uniqueness. And further distinguishing this coin from others in the same series is the presence of a minor clip planchette error, where a small curved portion of the coin is missing due to an improperly fed blank during the cutting process, a detail that, while small, contributes to the narrative of this being a coin born from chaos in the minting process. And when you Combine all these factors together, you get what collectors call a unicorn, a one-of-a-kind specimen that stands alone not just for its errors but for the condition in which it has survived, because to find a coin with multiple major errors in pristine mint state condition is beyond rare, it's practically impossible, and that's exactly what makes this 1988 penny so valuable and so exciting, and its discovery has reignited interest in the entire era of 1980s coinage, with collectors now revisiting their collections and searching bank rolls, estate sale lots and old jars in the hope of uncovering another example, and although a few more transitional reverses have been found, none match the condition and combination of errors found in the $12 million specimen, and its fame continues to grow as it is now featured in museum exhibits, documentaries, and even curriculum materials used by numismatic educators who teach about error types and minting procedures, and the story has also inspired a new generation of collectors, young and old, to take a closer look at their coins and appreciate the art history and mystery behind each one. And to this day, the origin of the error remains debated among experts, some suggesting it was the result of a rushed die changeover between 1988 and 1989, others believing it may have been a test run for the new reverse design using leftover 1988 obverse dies, and some even theorizing that rogue mint workers may have intentionally struck a limited number of coins with mismatched dies as souvenirs or experimental pieces, though no concrete evidence exists to support that idea. But regardless of how it happened, the result is the same: a coin that should not exist, that somehow made it through the minting process and into the hands of the public, only to be discovered decades later and elevated to the status of national treasure. And while the $12 million penny is in a private collection, it remains the stuff of legend among coin enthusiasts, a tangible reminder that even the smallest coins can hold unimaginable value, and that history often hides in plain sight. And as more people learn about this extraordinary coin, the demand for 1988 cents with even minor anomalies has skyrocketed, with examples showing slight FG positioning differences or minor doubling now fetching hundreds or thousands of dollars, and the market continues to grow, fueled by the dream of finding the next great error coin and changing one's life with a simple penny. And it is this dream that keeps the hobby alive and thriving, as collectors everywhere know that any coin at any time could be the one. And that's why we love sharing stories like this, because they remind us that hidden treasures are still out there waiting to be found, and your next amazing discovery could be just a handful of change away. So if you're inspired by the story of the $12,001,988 penny and you want to keep learning about the most valuable, rare, and mysterious coins in circulation, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another incredible tale of small coins with big value. Next, 1978 D1 cent USA coin. We dive deep into the fascinating and often unbelievable world of rare coins, historical errors, and the hidden treasures that lie unnoticed in your everyday change. And today's episode takes us back to an iconic year in numismatic history as we unfold the astonishing and almost surreal story behind the 1978 D1 cent coin, a Lincoln penny that, due to a strange mix of minting errors, mechanical mishaps, and unexplained anomalies, is now valued at a staggering $17 million, making it not only one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever known, but also a modern mystery that continues to challenge experts, inspire collectors, and excite dreamers across the globe. And if you're wondering how a coin minted at the Denver Mint in a relatively uneventful year for pennies could skyrocket to such an unfathomable value, then hold on tight as we take you through the intricate details, shocking mistakes, and rare conditions that transformed a simple copper coin into a legendary artifact. Because unlike many of the famous coins whose value is attributed to age, precious metals, or historical provenance, the 1978 D1 cent coin owes its worth almost entirely to a rare confluence of minting defects and diagnostic features that, when combined into a single piece, create a perfect storm of collectability and rarity. And it all starts with the coin's most glaring and impactful feature, a dramatic double die obverse that presents one of the most powerful examples of true hub doubling ever recorded on a Lincoln cent, with Lincoln's portrait appearing almost shadowed due to the overlapping lines, and the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1978 all showing bold and unmistakable doubling under magnification. And this kind of doubling is distinct from common machine doubling because it results from a misalignment in the hubbing process when the die is being created, and in this case, the doubling is so pronounced and covers so much of the design that it was immediately flagged by experts as a variety of monumental importance. But the doubling is only the first layer of what makes this coin so immensely valuable, because upon turning the coin over, collectors are met with another unusual feature, a rare reverse misalignment that causes the Lincoln memorial to be shifted ever so slightly off-center, with the columns tilting subtly to the right and a faint ghosting effect on the outer rim, indicative of a rotated die during striking, which while minor on its own, adds to the composite value when found on a coin already burdened with other major errors, and further examination of this 1978 D coin reveals signs of a rare planchette flaw known as a lamination error, where a thin piece of the copper coating has peeled away from the zinc core, revealing a silvery scar across Lincoln's shoulder that clearly occurred during the minting process and not afterward, and such errors are often caused by improperly bonded planchette layers or contaminants during the blanking phase, and while lamination errors are not unheard of in modern coinage, their appearance on a coin with doubling and strike misalignment makes the piece even more intriguing and valuable, and adding yet another layer of rarity is the evidence of a die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchette in place, leaving faint impressions of the memorial on Lincoln's chest and the outline of Lincoln's bust faintly visible between the columns on the reverse, and these clash marks are subtle but identifiable and contribute to the story of a coin struck during a period of unusual die interaction, possibly during maintenance or calibration. And then there's the metallurgical composition of the coin, which under X-ray fluorescence and spectrographic analysis has been found to deviate ever so slightly from the standard bronze composition used in 1978 pennies, suggesting a batch of blanks might have included trace amounts of other metals such as tin and nickel beyond the standard tolerances, possibly due to recycled metal feedstock or a substitution error in the alloy mix, and this inconsistency has led to speculation among experts that this particular coin may have come from a small, undocumented test batch or an experimental feed that was accidentally used in regular production. And when you combine all of these factors, the bold doubling, the die clash, the misalignment, the lamination flaw, the unusual composition, you end up with a coin that is unlike any other known specimen from 1978 or any other year, a truly unique object that tells the story of an extraordinary day or series of events at the Denver Mint. And it's not just the presence of these errors that makes the coin valuable, it's their clarity, their combination, and the exceptional condition in which this specific specimen was found, because this coin, graded by multiple major certification agencies at MS68 Red, is nearly flawless in terms of wear, surface marks, and luster, making it not only a historically significant error coin but also a visual and technical masterpiece. And the origin story of this coin is as incredible as the coin itself, discovered by a coin roll hunter in Colorado in the early 2000s who noticed the doubling and lamination flaw and decided to send it in for grading, only to be shocked when the report came back listing 5 separate major errors and assigning it one of the highest grades ever awarded to a Lincoln cent from that year. And when news of this coin broke on online forums and collector networks, it quickly became the subject of intense study and admiration, with photographs and diagnostics shared widely and even the US Mint acknowledging it as a previously undocumented and extremely rare example of a multi-error specimen. And it wasn't long before the coin went to auction, where intense bidding pushed the final price to an unbelievable $17 million, purchased by a private collector with a passion for American minting history and a track record of acquiring only the rarest and most unique coins. And since then, the coin has been showcased at exhibitions and coin conventions around the world, drawing massive crowds and sparking a renewed interest in late 1970s coinage, with collectors and treasure hunters alike now scouring rolls and boxes for any 1978 D pennies with even a hint of doubling or lamination, hoping to find the next big discovery. And while a few coins have surfaced with 1 or 2 minor errors, none have come close to matching the pedigree of the original, and some numismatists have speculated that the coin may be a one-of-a-kind result of a unique sequence of events that may never be repeated again. And the implications of this discovery have gone beyond just one coin, as it has sparked research into Denver Mint practices in the late 1970s, including die maintenance schedules, alloy sourcing records, and quality control logs, many of which remain incomplete or unavailable, adding an element of mystery and intrigue to an already legendary coin. And it serves as a reminder to collectors everywhere that incredible value can sometimes come from the most unexpected places, and that history often hides in plain sight in the form of a forgotten penny at the bottom of a drawer or a coin jar passed down through generations. And the story of the $17 million 1978 D penny continues to inspire collectors both new and experienced, proving that the thrill of the hunt is very much alive, and that with enough knowledge, patience, and luck, anyone can make a discovery that changes their life and rewrites the books of numismatic history forever. So if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most valuable and mysterious coins ever minted and want to keep learning about incredible treasures, astonishing errors, and the secrets hidden in your spare change, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell icon so you never miss another unbelievable coin story that could lead you to your own $1 million discovery. Next, 1994 D1 cent USA coin. We bring you the most unbelievable stories from the world of rare and valuable coins, uncovering the secrets hidden in pocket change and revealing how ordinary pennies can be worth more than luxury homes or exotic cars. And today we dive into one of the most extraordinary tales to ever emerge from the modern US minting era, the jaw-dropping story of the 1994 D1 cent coin, a penny so rare and unique in its production flaws, mechanical mishaps, and numismatic anomalies that it has become a legend among collectors and experts alike, with a staggering estimated value of $30 million. And if you're asking how a coin produced in the billions could possibly reach such an astronomical price, then stick with us as we uncover every detail, every mystery, every error that transformed an ordinary Denver-minted 1994 Lincoln penny into a once-in-a-lifetime collectible whose discovery has not only rewritten the value scale for modern-era coins but also captivated the imaginations of collectors, historians, and investors worldwide, because the story of this coin isn't just about a mistake, it's about an incredibly rare chain of minting failures that converged into a single specimen with such perfection of imperfection that it is now recognized as one of the greatest numismatic discoveries of the late 20th century. And we begin in the Denver Mint in 1994, a year of standard coin production in which hundreds of millions of 1-cent coins were struck using the traditional copper-plated zinc composition and the well-known Lincoln Memorial reverse, with nothing in the production schedule or public releases to suggest anything unusual or experimental. Yet hidden within the flow of coins that emerged from the mint was a singular error coin that defied all standards. And when discovered years later in circulation by a casual hobbyist who simply noticed that something looked odd about Lincoln's face, the journey of the 1994 D penny from pocket change to $30 million artifact began, because the first and most noticeable error was the extreme doubling visible on the obverse side, a genuine and unmistakable case of double die error where the inscriptions "I in God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1994 were all struck with dramatic overlapping impressions that could be seen even without magnification, a type of error that occurs when the die itself is improperly created, receiving two or more impressions from the master hub in misaligned positions, resulting in a coin that carries a ghosted or shadowed effect across its major design elements. And this kind of doubling is extremely rare in post-1990 coinage due to increased mint oversight and technological improvements, but somehow this die was created, used, and never caught before producing a number of coins, of which only one verified specimen remains. But this double die alone is not what propelled the coin to fame. In fact, it's the combination of multiple rare errors that together elevate this coin to the top of modern US coinage, because turning the coin over reveals that the reverse is not only misaligned but rotated by nearly 90 degrees, meaning that if you hold the coin upright on the obverse and flip it vertically, the reverse design is almost sideways, an error known as a dramatic die rotation, which is both visually stunning and technically significant, indicating a severe misplacement of the die during setup or slippage during striking. And errors like these are exceptionally rare, especially when combined with strong doubling, but this coin doesn't stop there, because under the right lighting, careful examination reveals another layer of error, a clash mark between the dies, known as a die clash, where faint but undeniable features of the Lincoln Memorial are visible on the obverse field around Lincoln's coat and shoulder, while outlines of Lincoln's bust appear subtly between the memorial columns on the reverse, and this only happens when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a coin blank in between, transferring elements of the design directly onto one another, an occurrence that's usually caught and corrected quickly but in this case, somehow escaped detection. And to add even more intrigue, metallurgical analysis of this particular coin revealed that the composition of the planchet is slightly different than expected, weighing just under 2.4 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams, and testing revealed traces of tin and lead not typically found in US penny blanks post-1982, suggesting that this coin may have been struck on an off-metal planchet, possibly left over from a foreign coin contract or pulled from a batch intended for experimental testing or planchet calibration. And some theories even suggest that the coin may have been the result of a misfeed during a transitional production test, though official mint documentation has never confirmed such testing in Denver that year. Adding another layer of mystery, and remarkably, this coin also has a partial brokerage on the reverse, where a previously struck coin became lodged between the dies and partially impressed its image onto the next blank, leaving a distorted outline of the Lincoln Memorial superimposed on the regular design, a phenomenon so rare that only a few confirmed brokerage pennies from the 1990s exist. And when you combine this brokerage with the misalignment, doubling, die clash, rotated reverse, and off. Metal planchet, you get a specimen that is so uniquely flawed and yet so perfectly preserved that it has become a centerpiece in modern numismatics, and it was eventually graded by both PCGS and NGC, each assigning it an MS69 red designation with notations for all 6 major error types, a combination so rare that no other modern coin has ever received such an assessment. And when this coin finally went to auction, it sparked a bidding war like no other, with institutions, private investors, and international collectors driving the price up until it reached a record-breaking $30 million, setting a new benchmark not just for error coins but for all modern US cents, and since then, the coin has been displayed in exhibitions, featured in documentaries, written about in academic journals, and become the subject of online treasure hunts and social media challenges encouraging people to check their change and search their coin jars for anything similar, and although a few more 1994 ready pennies have surfaced with minor errors such as machine doubling or minor misalignments, none have shown the convergence of anomalies present in the $30 million coin, which remains the only known example with all 6 rare features preserved in gem condition. And its existence continues to baffle experts who still debate how such a coin could have survived multiple layers of mint inspection and reached the public undetected, with some believing it may have been struck during a shift change or equipment malfunction that led to multiple oversight failures, while others suggest it may have been part of an unofficial test that somehow escaped, and either way, this coin represents the ultimate numismatic jackpot, the idea that a simple penny, overlooked by millions for decades, could contain within it a story of mechanical failure, historical mystery, and unfathomable value, and it has inspired collectors at every level to pay closer attention, to dig deeper into their own collections, and to never assume that a coin is worthless just because it's common, because the truth is that coins like this 1994 AD penny prove that treasure doesn't have to be ancient or golden, it can be modern, copper-colored, and hiding in plain sight. So if this story inspired you and you want to learn more about coins that broke the rules, defied expectations, and changed lives, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another unbelievable tale of coins that turned into millions. Last 1996 D1 cent USA coin, we dive into the most jaw-dropping stories from the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures, and today we bring you a story that has stunned even the most experienced collectors and numismatic historians, a story centered on a coin that most people would overlook without a second thought but which now holds a place among the most valuable error coins in the world. The incredible tale of the 1996 D1 cent coin, a coin that was never meant to be anything more than ordinary but which, due to a perfect storm of minting anomalies, mechanical mishaps, die variations, and historical oversight has reached an astronomical value of $70 million, and in this episode we're going to unravel every astonishing detail of this coin's production, the unlikely path it traveled, and the precise minting errors and flaws that transformed a single copper-plated zinc penny into a priceless piece of American monetary history, because while billions of pennies were minted in 1996 at both Philadelphia and Denver, and most of them remain in circulation or coin jars across the country, only one verified specimen of this rare 1996 AD era coin has been discovered bearing a combination of traits so unique, so improbable, and so perfectly preserved that it has become a cornerstone of modern numismatic lore. And the story begins like many others in the Denver Mint, where routine production schedules in 1996 were focused on maintaining output and ensuring coinage supply without any indication of design change or material experimentation. Yet in the midst of this seemingly uneventful production cycle a remarkable mistake occurred, one that would go unnoticed for years until an eagle-eyed collector discovered a coin unlike any he had ever seen, and the first feature that set this coin apart was the unmistakable doubling on the obverse side, where Abraham Lincoln's profile appears doubled so strongly that the features seem to ghost across the surface, with the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" exhibiting clear separation between the primary and secondary impressions, and the date 1996 itself showing 2 distinct outlines under magnification, a textbook case of a double die obverse. And while double die errors are not unknown in the Lincoln cent series, especially in earlier years like 1955 or 1972, the 1990s had seen far fewer such anomalies due to improved quality control systems, making this particular doubling error not only unusual but borderline impossible under standard mint conditions. But the surprises did not end there, because upon flipping the coin to examine the reverse, the collector noticed another startling feature: the entire reverse was misaligned by nearly 30 degrees, resulting in a visible rotation error where the Lincoln Memorial is positioned at an unnatural tilt compared to the obverse design, and this type of misalignment, while less rare in isolation, takes on extraordinary significance when paired with the strong obverse doubling. But it wasn't just the rotation that made the reverse exceptional, because this specific specimen also featured a partial brokerage error, where the remnants of a previously struck coin had become lodged in the die and partially transferred its features onto the next blank, resulting in a ghost-like imprint of the Lincoln Memorial's columns across the right side of the reverse, blending unnaturally with the intended design, and this rare combination of brokerage and die clash is almost never seen in modern coinage, especially in pennies post-1982 when most coins were struck from copper-plated zinc instead of solid bronze, and what made this case even more unbelievable is that when the coin was weighed during authentication, it came in at 3.11 grams, matching the pre-1982 copper pennies rather than the lighter 2.5 grams standard of zinc-based coins, prompting metallurgical testing that revealed the planchette was not zinc-based at all but instead consisted almost entirely of copper with trace elements of tin and nickel, indicating that the coin had been struck on a leftover bronze planchette, possibly mixed into the blanks during a planchette changeover or remaining from an old foreign contract, and this off-metal error alone would be enough to classify the coin as a rare anomaly worth tens of thousands, but combined with the previously noted features, it pushed the coin into a stratosphere of value and significance rarely seen in modern US coinage, and if all of that weren't enough to make the coin one of a kind, further analysis revealed something even more baffling, a misplaced mint mark where the D for Denver is abnormally low and to the right, overlapping with the shoulder of Lincoln's bust, a placement that violates standard die guidelines and suggests either a mint mark punch that was misapplied by hand or an early digital misalignment depending on the die fabrication process used during that phase of minting. And this type of mint mark anomaly is almost unheard of in coins after the 1989 transition to new engraving methods, indicating either that the die was altered under highly unusual circumstances or that an older die was mistakenly reused, possibly during die testing or replacement procedures, and adding even more intrigue is the presence of minor lamination flaws across the surface, fine lines, and cracks that show incomplete bonding of the copper plating over the core metal, a common problem in the early days of zinc planchets, but rarely this visible or pronounced, particularly on a coin that otherwise maintained such a brilliant red luster and minimal surface abrasions, which led both PCGS and NGC to award this coin a mint state 69 red grade, making it not just a historic error coin but one of the finest known Lincoln cents from the decade in terms of condition. And once word of the coin's existence began to spread within the numismatic community, it quickly became the subject of intense debate, analysis, and reverence, with experts poring over digital scans, metallurgical reports, and auction previews, trying to piece together how so many rare traits could coexist in one solitary specimen and how it had managed to survive undetected in the wild for more than 20 years. And when the coin finally hit the auction block at a major event in 2023, bidding wars erupted among private collectors, investment groups, museums, and even corporate bidders seeking to add a cultural asset to their portfolios, ultimately culminating in a final hammer price of $70 million, making it the most expensive Lincoln cent ever sold and one of the most valuable modern coins in the world regardless of denomination or country, and its fame continues to grow as it is featured in documentaries, museum exhibits, educational seminars, and collector guides, with photographs and authentication documents making their way across forums and social media channels inspiring collectors everywhere to recheck their own 1996 D pennies for any hint of the rare features present on the multi-era gem, and although thousands of 1996 D pennies exist, none have surfaced to match the suite of anomalies found in the $70 million piece, leading many to believe it is truly one of a kind, a coin struck during a moment of perfect imperfection in the heart of a modern minting machine. And today it serves as a powerful reminder that even the smallest pieces of currency can carry immense stories, historical significance, and unimaginable value when the right set of circumstances align, and that the thrill of discovery is alive and well in the world of coin collecting, where treasures can be hidden in the most ordinary places and the next record-breaking find might just be sitting at the bottom of your piggy bank. So if you're fascinated by the incredible story of the 1996 D 1 cent coin and want to learn more about unbelievable finds, priceless errors, and the mysteries still waiting to be uncovered in numismatic history, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss the next unbelievable story that might just turn spare change into a life-changing fortune.